Okay, guys, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish this up. We're going to talk about some of the checkpoints in the cell cycle and how those things happen, and then why are those checkpoints important. And then last but not least, we will go over talks again because there are a few questions on talks that you guys shouldn't have to miss, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go over that one more time. Okay, so it says, what are the checkpoints in the cell cycle? Okay, so some of the things that happen is that there's a checkpoint between, let me go ahead and let me move over here. So checkpoints. There is a checkpoint between G1 and S. And some of those things that we look for is if the cell is big enough, and then if there's no DNA damage. So that is one of the things that we look for. Then we have one that is after S, that we go ahead and we check if DNA is replicated correctly. So that is another checkpoint that we go ahead and that we go through, is that before we head into G2, we go ahead and we check if those things are replicated correctly. The next thing is, that we're going to go ahead and we have in M phase, we go ahead and we also check if chromosomes are lined up. Are lined up. And the reason why we go ahead and why we do this is that we're going ahead and we're trying to see, okay, if the chromosomes are not lined up correctly, then we're going to end up with an uneven amount of DNA. So we want to make sure that amount of DNA that we have is even with those two things, okay? And then the checkpoints, right? The checkpoints are important, right? Because we want to make sure that we want to make a healthy cell, basically. A healthy cell, right? And so in order to go ahead and to double check that we are making a healthy cell, what we're going to do is that we're going to check all of these things that can be damaged so that we can prevent as much damage as possible. Okay, so those are our different things on there. Next part is to go ahead and go through talks. So as you guys know, this is title, axes, label, key, and scale, right? And these are the different parts of the graphs that you guys do need to have, right? So you guys should have this labeled X and Y, so that's your axes, right? If we're going ahead and if we're talking about, let's go number of mice, right? And then I will have my label there. Oh, no, this is going to be color of mice. Let's do this. Color of mice. This is number of mice. Right, so that would be my label, right? Next thing that I would do is that I would go ahead and I would scale my graph, right? And again, scaling, it means that we're counting by a number. So this will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 sort of deal. So that's my scale, right? Then I'm going to have my dark mice and my light mice. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to do this thing on here. So I have that there and that there. Actually, let's go ahead and let's make it bigger. Boop. Okay, so I start with 35 mice, and oh, I need a pink dot for my scale. I'm gonna make this right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna do my same thing. Oh, actually, I don't want blue. Let's go ahead and let's do yellow. And then I'm gonna have my afters, so I'm gonna do this. Right. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, and then I'm gonna do that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna label these things, right? So my key, so this one is going to be before, going to be after, right? And then so I have my key. Now I have to go ahead and have to make sure that I have a title. Titles are like the number one thing that people always forget. They'll typically like give you a graph like this and it looks really complete because it has like everything, right? And then they're like, oh, the title, right? So this one is going to be, we're going to talk about mice survival after predator introduction. So survival after introducing a predator sort of deal would be my title, right? So that it goes ahead and tells me and gives me a context of what this graph is about. Okay, you guys, so for the final, just kind of keep in mind that there are some free response questions that go ahead and they talk about the base pairing rules and being able to go ahead and go from DNA to RNA to protein, right? You guys also have to be able to write a complete claim evidence reasoning. So if you guys don't remember how to do that, make sure that you guys know that claim is like your short answer, right? Your evidence goes ahead and you guys pick like a couple of facts, and then your reasoning basically tells me why those facts and your claim, why your facts and your claim goes together. So those are like a couple of things to go ahead and to kind of keep in mind for the final as you guys are working. Okay, so thank you guys. Good luck in finals and great job this year. And I hope to see you guys soon. Good luck.